Welcome back to the TSB devlog. I'm here with Jack or Mr. Yoshi, and today we're going to be talking about how we made the abandoned mall and our first boss fight.
Hello, everyone. Um, so the Lonely City, which is our first level, has four major districts. The commercial district, which includes the mall and several other shops, is where you will find our first boss, the Buzz Brawler.
Side note, the soundtrack for the mall and the songs you're hearing right now just released on Spotify today in an EP called The Abandoned Mall. You should check it out. The mall has kind of been like a thing we wanted from the very beginning. One of the original ideas we had was to have a mall with the Buzzed Brawler, who is a drunk homeless man. Then we moved on to a new, newer map design, and I didn't realize how big of an undertaking this would be. So we have since scaled it down into this Lonely City map, which I'm going to blur out everything that is not the commercial district because, well, I mean, we're saving those for later. Jack, do you want to talk a bit about the demo mall?
The old Lonely City map was kind of odd. It was very small. The mall was really the only thing you really had. Um, you could just walk right into the mall and you just saw Buzz Brawler sitting right there on the floor. You could go up to him, interact with him, and the boss fight would immediately start.
We've since improved it. That's what this whole video is gonna be talking about. Our process of that. But originally, it was like the only point of the game was to go in that cool mall building, fight the drunk dude. The original concepts for the brawler are on screen, and also the original fight before we had any art and everything was placeholders, and then the rendered art fight, like the newer one. But it wasn't that good. I'm gonna be honest. The mall has a three-floor system. On floor one, there is four stores, one of which you cannot enter. There's a clothing store, jewelry store, toy store, and a game store. And you got to complete puzzles in these stores to try and get the key. When you complete all three puzzles, there's a key that spawns in one of the elevator that lets you go to the second floor. The second floor, once you're there, it's a food court like a lot of malls have, and you could buy stuff, but you could also watch out for the giant sentient vending machine trying to kill you. It's called the rending machine. Currently, we don't have art for it, but it shoots out projectiles every which way and then jumps and does a shockwave on the floor. So defeating that drops the key to floor 3, where the Buzz Brawler lives. I'm gonna talk about making these a bit. Coming up with shop ideas was a little bit difficult. I drew out storefronts and I used the same base asset, just changed up the colors and the logo for each one. On floor 1, actually, you can find the Kaching. It's a little sentient cash register. Um, Pretty soon, I'm not going to say too much because pretty soon we will have a separate devlog video just for the Kaching. Floor 2, the rending machine. I played around with I think it's gravity scale on rigid bodies in Unity because it's like the scale of gravity, it's the effect of gravity on a thing. Like, it lets you control whether this thing has Earth gravity physics or moon gravity physics or something even weirder than that. So, normally I set it to 0 because TSB is a top-down one. So you don't want to have gravity because it'll just fall to the bottom of the screen. But on these, I accidentally left the gravity scale on, and so they fell a bit, and it kind of did this like weird spread and like a spray of projectiles. And so I thought, what if I got a little creative with this and I randomized it? And then I thought, well, I mean, if I can randomize it positively, what if I go into the negatives? What happens if I do negative gravity scale? And it does exactly what you think it does. It makes it float to the top of the screen. It literally gives it negative gravity. So I gave some of the negative gravity. So he'll throw it and then it'll start floating to the top of the screen and then disappear. It's really cool. all these little projectiles. Making the elevator to actually traverse between the floors was pretty difficult because I had a weird text-based system instead of just like buttons to click. But I got there in the end. I'm probably going to change it to a button click system eventually just because it's kind of janky right now. And then floor 3 with the Buzz Brawler fight. Originally, I was planning to like create a completely new script for it, but I found out that I was able to actually salvage the original Brawler AI script, so I can use a bit of the same stuff.
So the Buzz Brawler fight is pretty unique. He has 5 main attacks. So the first one, he just chases you in a straight line, much like our Rubbish Rascal. The second one, he chases you again, but does a strafing around the player before going in for like a dive bomb attack, much like our Scurrier. Then he will move to a distance away from the player and just stay there, um, sitting there. So you like can't reach him pretty much. He also can go directly above the player to drop a Molotov cocktail down on the player, and then he can also pick a map position in the arena, stay there, and throw bottles at you.
You can see all that kind of laid out on this concept page here. This was pretty recent. This is the newer concept page. Less about the art, which the first concept page was about the art. This one was about the fight itself. And also on this page, you can see like my mental process of working out the bugs and all the problems when the different attacks broke, and then crossing them off as they got fixed. Yeah, it was definitely a process, but I was able to get it done in, I think I did it across 2 or 3 days only, but that's just because I was working on it almost all day for those days. So it definitely went faster than when I originally made it, but that's just because I know a lot more about coding than I did then. Once you beat the brawler, you get access to the Molotov item, which is probably the coolest item we have so far. I'm gonna be honest. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely so far in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Not planned. We got some pretty cool ones planned, which I won't say anything more about, but the
Let me
Molotov.
tell you, we have some cool ones.
Yeah, Jack's our item guy. He's in charge of planning out the items, balancing them, all that stuff, and so he has a lot planned for you guys. It's gonna be very exciting. But Molotov, it's just like the Brawler's Molotov. You just throw it and it'll hit something and make fire. Beautiful, glorious fire. And as we'll get into in a later devlog episode, this Molotov is very important for progression as it allows you to access the other areas of the Lonely City. I think that's pretty much it for this one. What do you think?
Yep, I'd agree. This is pretty much a Lonely City Mall.
Appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope you stick around for the next one.
See you guys soon.